and welcome back to another pro wrestling training vlog. Today we are at the West Midlands New Wave Wrestling Academy. Today this session is being taught by former WWE NXT UK superstar Flash Morgan Webster, so very exciting stuff. I actually used to watch this guy on TV, so this was pretty cool to go down there and train with him, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience. So without any further ado, let's get on with it. Hello my beautiful creatures, it's your Demon Queen, the Hellcat, the British Yandere, the Devil's Secretary, the Duchess of the Damned, also known as Succubus. And here I am just doing some lockups with my good friend Alfiee. This is actually the first time that we've locked up together. I think before we were about to lock up, she was just like saying, I don't think we've actually locked up before. And I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I don't think I have. So what you're watching here is actually the first time that we've ever locked up before, which is pretty cool. Maybe you'll be able to like look back on this and say like, hey, I saw it when those two guys like locked up for the very first time. So yeah, that was super duper cool. Now, we actually ended up swapping partners quite a few times, which is actually really good because not everybody works and moves in the same way. So it's always good to mix things up and try working with somebody different, which I really appreciated. You can see right here, we're just doing it like a front face lock where we're kind of like dragging our opponents to the ground before they switch it into their own front face lock. Now, as I mentioned before, today we are training with a former WWE superstar in Flash Morgan Webster, who was just such a wealth of knowledge throughout this entire session. I learned so incredibly much from him, and it was just so great being able to train under somebody who I actually used to watch on TV. And yeah, it was just an awesome experience. Would highly recommend the New Wave Wrestling Academy for anybody who happens to be in the Stoke-on-Trent area. I'll leave like the links and socials in the description if you want to check those guys out. But yeah, they were super awesome. It was great being able to work with everyone, and yeah, it was just overall just an amazing experience, and I would love to go back again sometime. Now, a lot of the stuff that we did during the session was actually quite basic. Like for example, right here, we're just doing some waist lock reversals. But the amazing thing about Flash is that he's able to give you all this extra information of stuff that you can do to really make your work stand out. As you can see right here, he's just showing me how to go from a lockup into a waist lock. And when you start adding all these extra layers onto your work, it really can make all those little details that you do, it really makes like a big difference when it comes to your overall product. You can see right there, he actually said how good my selling was, which is something that I hear quite often from a lot of people. But he also mentioned that my footwork was quite good, and it's really encouraging to hear those things from somebody who's actually been to the place where we all want to go. Like I make it no secret, like I want to end up in WWE someday, and that's my goal, that's my dream, that's what I grew up with, and I make absolutely no effort to hide that from anyone. And here I am just getting put into a wrist lock. You can see me just trying to grab his wrist in order to like relieve the pressure of the grip, and then he's wrenching it. And I think it's worth mentioning as well that every single person that I worked with at this session was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, I guess you could expect as much because they're all being trained by a former WWE guy. But yeah, it's kind of cool, and it's even more awesome when you kind of realize that a lot of these guys, I guess in a way, are being trained in the WWE style, which is something that I always try to do with my work, because a great piece of advice that was given to me by somebody was to work the style of the place where you want to end up. So I always try my best to work the WWE style, because like I said, that's where I want to go, that's where I want to end up, that's where I want to be. And that being said, there is definitely a lot of British stuff in this session as well, or what I would consider the British wrestling style, which is also super cool to do. And here we are about to do some work in the ring. We're actually about to go through a few rolls, which was quite interesting. Like, I'm so used to doing the rolls at the beginning of the session, like as a warm-up. But here is kind of like what I mean when it comes to that WWE style, and how important it is when it comes to like that footwork and stepping forward with your left foot. And also not just doing these things for the sake of doing them, but actually understanding why we do them a certain way, which was super cool to learn about.
Holy shit.
See, it's always great seeing, listening to people's reaction to that. Obviously my backward rolls are quite unique when it comes to a lot of people. Not everyone like does backward rolls the way that I do them. But yeah, it's always a lot of fun when people watch that for the first time. But right here we're doing some very unique backward rolls that I've not done before, where we're actually kind of like doing the back roll and then kind of coming up on one foot, which was very interesting and also very difficult. Like I barely managed to do it. And here's that British wrestling style that I was talking about, just two of us getting into the ring for 90 seconds I think it was, and not planning anything and just working and just making stuff up as we go along, which is something that I really enjoy doing.
Oh, that was nice! That was lovely!
Flash seemed to really approve of that drop toe that I did right there, which is super appreciated. But yeah, you know, this was a lot of fun. And being able to get into the ring and just make stuff up as you go along is kind of a skill that you need to build over time, because I think as wrestlers, we get so used to like planning a lot of our matches and really knowing that what we're going to do like beat for beat. The downside to doing that though, like in my opinion, is that sometimes you don't always get to react to like what's actually happening with the crowd and like how they're perceiving certain things. So, and that at times can be like a disadvantage. But when you're doing stuff like this, where you are just making things up as you go along, it really gives you that opportunity to really play with what you're doing and react to like how the crowd is reacting. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of benefits to being able to learn how to work on the fly. Now, once again, guys, this is the New Wave Wrestling Academy, the West Midlands. I believe they have another training center somewhere else. I'm not quite sure where it is, but this one is based in Stoke-on-Trent. Obviously, I couldn't speak more highly of it. It was amazing, a fantastic experience. Would highly recommend for anybody looking to start their pro wrestling journey. And this whole experience was made even more awesome because I got to go down to this wrestling school with my good friend Alfiee, who is just such an awesome person, an amazing wrestler. I'll leave her socials in the description so you can check her out as well. But yeah, she's just lovely and fantastic, and I really appreciated being able to go down with her, because usually when I go out to these wrestling schools to kind of do some promotion for them and everything, I'm usually just kind of on my own. It's usually just me and my tripod. So it's really nice being able to have a familiar face with me this time. It was very much appreciated. Anyway guys, that about does it for this pro wrestling training vlog. If you enjoyed this video and you want to continue watching me on my pro wrestling journey, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you all next time.